This week is gonna be fun because not me, but people on the internet will decide what I read for this week. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel Trishita Reads. I am Trishita and in today's video, I have decided that I will let my Instagram followers choose my reads for this week. But since I do not want to spend money to buy new books now, I chose 8 books from my physical TBR and I just uploaded stories, putting 2 books together and a poll, helping you guys to choose the one that you liked. But there was a twist. You actually could not see the cover of the book. I did cover the books and I gave 2 indications as emojis on the cover of the book so that you get a little bit idea of what book it was. And guys, it was a very fun activity. I loved doing it. So with that being said, I am very excited to see the poll results because I have not checked them yet. So let's roll with the video. This was the first story. The books that I chose for this story are Funny Story by Emily Henry and Bodyguard by Catherine Center. Let's see which one has won. I am shocked, guys. First things first, I am really happy that this book won, and I'm also really sad that the other book did not win because I was very excited to read the other one as well. The book that had a clear win in this poll was Funny Story by Emily Henry. Unfortunately, The Bodyguard by Catherine Center got only 37 votes. This becomes the first book to be added in this week's TBR. I'm very excited to read this one, not gonna lie guys, because the premise of this story is first of all really interesting, and when it comes to Emily Henry books, I expect a lot because I love this author. The way she describes complex emotions of all of the characters in her books is absolutely amazing, and her writing style is something that I look up to. So yes, I am really happy that this book got added in this TBR. The next poll was interesting because the books I chose for this one was The Things We Leave Unfinished by Rebecca Yarros and Daydream by Hannah Grace. Both of these books are from the authors whose works I have loved before. So I am really excited to see who has won the poll. Let's check, guys. The book that has clearly won is The Things We Leave Unfinished by Rebecca Yarros. It has got a whopping 60 votes. And unfortunately, the book that did not win is Daydream, which got only 30 votes. I did not even think that people will be choosing this book because in this one, I added the emojis of a book and a football. People love romances that have sports in it nowadays. I did not even think that people won't be choosing this book. I am a little bit sad that this book was not chosen by you guys. However, I am also really excited to read this book because Rebecca Yarros' writing is something that I really loved in Fourth Wing, and I want to see what happens in this one because Fourth Wing was a completely different genre to work with. This is a completely different genre to work with, so I want to see how diverse the author is actually. Let's move on to the next one. I know that I will be reading a lot of thick books this week, so I wanted to have a little bit breeze when it comes to reading my TBR. So yes, I chose 2 very thin books this time. In the third story, I gave you guys the option to choose between More Days at Morisaki Bookshop and Convenience Store Woman. Both of these books are translated fictions, so I am also very excited to read Asian authors from time to time. Let's see which one has won. In this poll, the stakes were pretty high. The competition was amazing because one book has won the poll by just 3 votes. The book that has won by 3 votes and has secured 42 votes is More Days at Morisaki Bookshop, and unfortunately at the count of 39 votes, Convenience Store has lost this poll. I am excited, very excited to read More Days at Morisaki Bookshop because I loved reading Days at Morisaki Bookshop. It was a heartwarming story. I am very honestly very happy with this poll result. Let's move on to the next one. The next poll was also very competitive. There was very close competition between these 2 books. In the next poll, I chose 2 books that have been sent to me by Penguin India. Because of some shipment issues, the parcel reached me after almost 2 months and I'm really sad about it, but I got these 2 beautiful books by Penguin India. So thank you so much guys. Thank you so much for sending me such pretty and beautiful books in the very first place. I'm really grateful, and I decided to make a poll out of these 2 books because obviously when it comes to new books, I'm always excited to read them. So let's see which one has won. The competition between these 2 also was amazing because one of the books has won by exactly 3 votes again, and the book that has won is Apprentice to the Villain by 44 votes. And unfortunately, Ralph's Party couldn't win. It got 41 votes. I am so happy happy that I'm going to read this book this week because I have wanted to read the sequel of Assistant to the Villain since the time I finished this book. I just waited because Penguin already told me that they will be sending this book to me, and finally it is here. I am so happy and I'm so excited to see what happens with the villain, what happens with their love story, because in the first book it was just brimming, and I am very excited to see how the chemistry between these two people bloom. The thrill plot that was going in the story was also very nice. I also want to see how this mystery unfolds as well. Very happy with this pick. These are the 4 books that I will be reading this week, and yes, I think that it is doable. Let's hope for the best. I'm keeping my fingers crossed, and without any further delay, let's start reading. Hi guys, welcome to the first day of the vlog. Weather has started changing finally, and my favorite season is coming, that is winters. The air is chilly and crisp, and I am loving it. Finally, it is the season where I will not sweat like a pig, and I'm really excited for it. This is my cozy blanket. I have covered myself up, and I'm very excited to start reading Funny Story by Emily Henry because the premise of this book is really interesting and funny at the same time. The main character of this novel is Daphne, and she has always loved the way her fiance Peter tells stories, and the book starts in that way only. Daphne tells us how Peter described others, how they met, and that was absolutely sweet to read about. But soon our perspective towards Peter changes because Peter cheats on Daphne during the bachelorette party before Peter and Daphne were supposed to get married, and guess with whom Peter decides to cheat on Daphne with? It's his childhood best friend Petra. According to Peter, both of them finally confess their feelings for each other that they have been suppressing for such a long time, and Daphne was one devastated plus second shell shocked because she was the one who left everyone, her friends, her work, her city that she was comfortable with, just to be with Peter. And since the house she was living in with Peter was on Peter's name, Peter gives him till the time of weekend to help herself move out of the house. Daphne, not knowing what to do, comes across Miles, who is Petra's ex-boyfriend now because obviously she has cheated on him. After Daphne and Miles move in together, basically Daphne moves in Miles' apartment so that they can share the rent and all. They see that Peter and Petra have decided to get married, and the date they have decided is a few days after Daphne and Peter were supposed to get married. It is devastating to be very honest, and that is the initial story without any kind of spoilers. I am very excited to see how the dynamics between Daphne and Miles go because both of them are in a very broken situation in life right now, and both of them must have a soft spot for each other because they have a common point to hate. I mean, a common couple to hate. Before this incident happened, Daphne and Miles have not interacted much because Peter never liked Miles, and you can guess why. I have woken up super early today. It is currently 7:30 a.m. in the morning. I generally do not wake up this early. The reason why I woke up super early today is just because I wanted to start reading this book before I start working. So let's dive into reading and let's see how much I can read before I go to work. I'll see you guys in the evening with a reading update. Bye. I hate Peter. Good morning guys, welcome to the second day of the challenge, and by the brightness of my face you can guess how good this book is going. I am currently at page number 116. I will be starting chapter 11 of Funny Story, and I am loving this book. The characters of this book are something that I'm really liking. I mean, Miles has already become a favorite of mine, and it is always so beautiful to read Emily Henry's writing. And in this book, not only there is humor and romance, but there is so much more. The two main characters, Daphne and Miles, are going through so many emotions at their situation, and I am really loving every single page of this book. And even though So I am loving this book. I felt like I want to start reading another book from my TBR for this week because I was very excited to read this one. Even in the last video, this book got picked up, but since I had a huge chunky book, I could not get to read this book in the previous challenge, and hence, I was having this FOMO. And after finishing a few pages of this book yesterday evening, I started reading The Things We Leave Unfinished by Rebecca Yarros, and currently I am at page number 96. I'll be starting chapter 8. I was reading so slowly in the last challenge. I don't know what happened, and now I am flying through books. Yesterday I finished almost 100 pages of this book only, and I am also done with 100 pages of this one. So yes, this is a nice progress. I am really loving both of these books. I'll tell you guys about this book in the evening, so stay tuned. Okay, bye. Hi guys, welcome to the evening update, and I do not have a significant update for you because I did not get much time to read in the afternoon and in the evening as well. You asked me why I took a nap in the afternoons. It is my guilty pleasure, and in the evening I went out for a while, and when I came back I did a little bit of reading, but I was sucked into BookTube. Then it went to another and then another. I mean, there are so many good content creators out there now that it becomes really difficult for me to catch up with all of their videos. So yeah, my reading time was not that much, but let me give you an update. I am currently at page number 144 in Funny Story. I'll be starting chapter 13, and let me tell you guys, this book is flying super fast. I'm really loving both of the characters in this one, and Emily Henry, my lady, what are you doing? The more I read her books, the more I fall in love with her writing, and definitely she has become my auto-buy author. I can genuinely trust on the fact that if Emily Henry is writing it and it is getting published, then definitely I'm gonna buy it and I'm gonna enjoy it through and through. This is just a beautiful story where the two main characters, even though are going through so much in their lives, their hearts are broken, they are finding themselves in the process, but they are also making space to do new things, and they are discovering themselves in that process. Plus they are also seeing that the people they were with before who broke their hearts were the people who are wrong in the very first place, how their life was influenced by their ex-partners, and what they can do to make their lives better is something that I'm really loving in this book, apart from the romance. And when it comes to the romance, Miles is such a sweetheart. The gestures he does for Daphne is something that I really adore in this book. Daphne is also someone that I really like. I will love to be friends with her in real life if it was possible, but unfortunately it is not. I think I'll be able to finish a significant portion of this book before I go to sleep today. And coming to The Things We Leave Unfinished by Rebecca Yarros, I am currently at page number 156, and I'll start chapter 13 as well in this book. Okay, I'm syncing with both of the books right here. I'm really happy. This was a surprise. Okay, the story of this book is quite different from the other book that I have read by the same author before, because that was a fantasy. This is a through and through romance novel, and I was not gonna lie, a little bit skeptical whether Rebecca Yarros will be able to deliver a good romance novel or not, but I was also a little bit hopeful because in Fourth Wing the dynamics between the characters was something that I really liked. The romance was really on point. So yeah, I'm really loving the characters. Let me tell you a little bit about this book because I have reached a significant portion where I can share a little bit about this book with you guys without any spoilers. The main character of this book is Georgia, and her grandmother was a famous romance writer of her time. Georgia was married to a Hollywood producer, and after 6 long years of marriage, their marriage did not work out, and hence she got a divorce. And being a person who is associated indirectly with Hollywood, she was on the tabloids throughout, and that was an excruciating process for her because this was very personal to her. Georgia kind of felt free when she got out of the marriage, and when she comes home, she sees that her mother is in a meeting with the publisher that used to publish her grandmother's work, which is still being published because people love her romance novels. And there is one manuscript that has not been published yet that has been written by her grandmother, and it is unfinished. So the publisher brings in Noah, who is a current best-selling author who writes romance novels, but they have a practical or a sad ending most of the time. So he has quite a good audience who buys his books, but there are also people who do not like his writing because his endings are poignant. And that is the reason why, even after all of the negotiations and everything that happened between Georgia and Noah and the publisher, Georgia decides to give the manuscript to Noah so that he can finish the last work by her grandmother with some reluctance, because Georgia's grandmother did not want to publish the book in the very first place. Georgia did it for her mother. And in this book, because of that, we have two timelines going on, where one timeline is the current timeline where Georgia and and Noah are negotiating, bantering about how the ending of the book should be. And on the other hand, we get to see the love story of Georgia's grandmother with her grandfather, which is so cute, and the stakes in that relationship is so high because the love story happened in World War II. Nothing was permanent, everything was transient. Even people did not know how much time they have with each other, and finding love in that situation is one very tumultuous plus very satisfying as well. And I am loving the past POV. I am loving to read how beautiful their love story was. And in the present timeline, nothing has started yet. Georgia and Noah are bantering with each other, but I am seeing little glimpses of them, engaging in a romantic relationship in future of this book. And I have no complaints about the writing of this book because yes, it is delivering. I was expecting at least this from Rebecca Yarros because of my past experience with her books. After having a very challenging reading challenge last week, I'm really loving the fact that I am able to read these two books together and enjoying them as well at the same time. Really grateful to these authors, definitely, that I am not going on a reading slump. So with that said, I'll just go and start reading again till I have dinner, and after dinner also I'm planning to read. So let's see what happens, how much I can read before I go to sleep. I'll update you guys about my reading progress tomorrow morning, so stay tuned. Bye. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is close to good afternoon actually. It is currently 11 a.m. in the morning, but I have been reading since 8:30. Took a few breaks, did some work, but still I was continuously reading. And I have a little update for you guys. I am currently at page number... Where is my bookmark? Okay. I am currently at page number 252. I'll be starting chapter 24 of Funny Story. I am almost done with the book. I mean, this is the section that is left, which I am confident that I will finish today only. And I am at page number 210. I will be starting chapter 17 of The Things We Leave Unfinished by Rebecca Yarros. I am almost halfway through, a little bit over halfway through, I guess. I do have a lot of pages to cover in this book, but I am planning to finish this one today as well. So for now, I'll go and do some remaining work that I have to, and I will focus on reading today because not only I have to finish Funny Story, I also have to finish this one. I am enjoying both of these books. This one is turning out to be a beautiful romance where these two characters are finally trying to confront their own feelings about each other, but they're also scared. I am really loving the brimming of romance in this one, but I am also very scared to read this one because something very bad is going to happen. I don't want to read it. I don't want my heart to be broken, but it will happen in this story. I know it will happen. My mind is in a haphazard situation right now because I am thinking about both of these books and it is becoming difficult for me to get back to work, but I have to. Even though I am loving the stories of these two books and want to savor the stories as long as I can, but I do have to read 2 more books by the end of this challenge, that is this week, so I have to rush now. Okay, that's all for the update for now. I'll see you guys in the evening. Hopefully I will be finishing at least one of these books by that time. Let's hope for the best. Fingers crossed. Bye. Hi guys, there is a little update. I finished reading Funny Story by Emily Henry and I'm giving this book 4 stars. This book was literally a 5 stars for me. It's just that there were a few points that I was looking for, I was expecting from this book, but I think that the story did not deliver that. I was looking for more connection between Daphne and her mother, but I did feel like the connection was a little bit flat. It felt one-dimensional. Even though Daphne says that she is very close to her mother and her mother is an important part of her life, I failed to see that connection between them. I would have loved if there was more involvement of her mother apart from some phone calls from time to time. Also, there was a loose end between her and her father. Also, I also wanted to see more of that. Plus, I also wanted to know about Miles's family. I also wanted to see Miles's side of the story more. I did feel like it was Daphne's story more rather than Miles. Also, I wanted something bad to happen between Petra and Peter, and I don't know what that makes of me as a person, but those two people were really bad. They got on my nerves so many times in this book. Imagine people who are so full of themselves that they feel like they are so superior over other people that even their presence can soothe you. And that defines what Petra and Peter were in this book. Other than that, I really loved reading this one. This book was funny. This book was serious at times. This book was romantic, definitely. My God. The ending scene was really amazing. It was very wholesome, and I really liked the fact that Emily Henry did justice to this book. Also, one thing that is a special mention in this book is I really loved the friendship between Daphne and Ashley. Beautiful friendship. Such a matured take on life and on friendship and expectations in friendships as well. It was a really good book. I really liked it. All of the characters in this novel, apart from Petra and Peter, obviously, were very mature. I always look for romance novels that has something beyond romance going on, and this book delivered it definitely. I'm very happy with this read, and it is currently 6:30 p.m. And yes, definitely I got a little bit late. I don't know how much I'll be able to read in the things we leave unfinished, but I'll see. I'll update you guys tomorrow morning. Till then, please stay tuned. Hi guys, good morning. Welcome to the fourth day of the vlog. Did I say that I will be finishing this book yesterday? I absolutely didn't. I am currently at page number 260. I'll be starting chapter 21. I do want to read all of the books that I have chosen for this challenge, and now it is the time that I have to gear up. I woke up a little early today at around 7:30, and since then I am reading. I have read around 50 pages, and it is weekend. It is Saturday. I do not have any work today, so it is a good sign. I will be going back to this book after I finish updating you guys. Now we are escalating to the point where something really devastating will happen, and I am preparing for that. I know what is gonna happen because it is there in the beginning of the book, and I cannot discuss it with you guys because I don't want to spoil it for you. I do want you guys to read this book because this is a very beautiful romance story. Even though there is some spice, but that spice can be ignored, that spice can be neglected because it is not the only thing that is happening in this book. So yeah, I'll go and start reading without wasting any time. I'll update you guys once I finish this book, and I'm very excited to start the new books actually because I have been reading this book for 3 days. I want to start a new book ASAP. So let's do that. Hi guys, welcome to the evening update. I just finished reading The Things We Leave Unfinished by Rebecca Yarros, and I am giving this book 5 stars. I have zero complaints. Still, my mind is revolving around the story, and I really love the ending of this book because not only there were two romances in two different timelines, but the end twist was something that I had not anticipated at all, and I really loved that. There were 5 main characters: Scarlett, Scarlett's sister Constance, Scarlett's husband Jameson, and in current timeline, Georgia and Noah. And all of these 5 characters in this book were so beautiful, plus the layers in these characters was amazing. Jameson was my favorite character from the whole lot, and the way he was caring towards his wife, he was considerate towards his wife, the way he was progressive in his thoughts at that time was something that I really liked. He could just look at his wife and see what she was going through. I highly recommend this one to you guys, and I'm so happy that I got a chance to read this work by Rebecca Yarros. Definitely I'm gonna check other romances by her. Now I'll go and take some time off, let the story marinate in my mind. I'll be with the story for some time, and then I'll start reading more days at Morisaki Bookshop because this is a thin book and I do feel like I'll be able to finish this book by today only. So I'll see you guys tomorrow morning with the reading update. Till then, stay tuned. Bye. Hi guys, welcome to another day of the vlog. It is currently close to 9 p.m. and I am very late in updating you about my reading progress because I did not get any time to read, to be very honest today. I had a lot of work to do. It is Sunday, weekend, and I had a lot of backlog works. So I was doing that throughout the whole day. And even though I told you guys that I will be reading more days at Morisaki Bookshop, but I ended up starting Apprentice to the Villain. I am currently at page number 96. I'll be starting chapter 23. To be honest, this book is better than the first part. The character dynamics is better, the character developments are better, and from the very beginning, some twists and turns are coming that I'm really liking. So, yes, I'm flying through this book, but the only thing that is kind of affecting my eyes a little bit is how small the font size is. I mean, just look at it. It is difficult to sit and do this every single time when you are reading a book. I am not going to say much about the story of this book because it is second in the series, I guess. I don't know whether this is the final book or not. I'll get to know. I am also loving the villain here, and not only him, I am loving Sage also in this book. Surprisingly, she has done a 360-degree change in her personality, and I am loving it. She is witty, she is confident, and she is so fun to read. Unfortunately, I did not read that much today, but I am planning to finish at least this tomorrow. If by any chance I'm able to finish a chunk of this book before going to sleep, then I will also be finishing this book tomorrow. That's all for today. I'll see you guys tomorrow with a new update, and hopefully I'll be able to finish both of these books. Stay tuned to see how much I'm able to read and finish tomorrow. Till then, bye. Hi guys, as always, I'm a little late to update you about my reading progress. I have a good news for you. I have finished reading both Apprentice to the Villain and More Days at Morisaki Bookshop. I am giving this book 3.5 stars, and I'm giving this book 4 stars. At first, I'll be talking about this book. I liked reading this one better than the first book. I don't know how much I rated that first book, but this is definitely better, and it has once again landed on a cliffhanger. I expected this series to be a duology, but definitely not. I don't know whether I am excited for that or not. I do want to know the final, revelation. Who is the person who is doing all of the things behind all of the conspiracies, whatever it is happening in this book. But am I excited to know more about these characters? No, definitely not. And let me tell you why. In this whole book, with respect to character growth or character development, we don't see anything. There was a 360-degree character flip in Evie Sage. It felt like the Evie Sage that I knew in the earlier books is completely different from the one that I have read in this one, and I really liked this version of Evie Sage. Definitely, she was savage, she was ruthless, and she was the perfect apprentice of the villain. But if I keep in consideration about the character development of the villain or of the side characters, then there is very little progress. I expected a lot more in terms of character development in this book, but I do feel like this is a filler book. I only gave 3.5 stars because I was liking the banter between the two characters, I mean the villain and Evie Sage. Apart from that, there was nothing, to be very honest, to like about in this book. Things have started becoming repetitive, and I highly expect that the author decides to end this storyline in the next book, because if she doesn't, definitely this will become a repetitive story that I personally won't be caring about. So let's see what happens in the next book. I will definitely read the next book, because if it is the finale book, then there will be a lot of revelations. I'm still waiting for that. Overall, this book was a mix. It was neither a hit nor a miss. It was an average read for me. I will recommend this book only to the readers who have read Assistant to the Villain. If you liked it, then you can go for Apprentice to the Villain. But if you have not read and are planning to read it, it's your choice. But if you ask me, you can skip this one. Coming to the next book, More Days at Morisaki Bookshop. I have given this book 4 stars because I liked the first book more. The first book, Days at Morisaki Bookshop, was a highlight for me because I really loved the uncle and niece bond between Takako and Satoru. But in this book, there were so many other aspects also that I really liked and appreciated. In the previous book, we saw Takako struggling in life, and in this one, we see a completely different side of Takako. She is settled and she is confident in herself, plus the way she loves books, and plus the way Satoru explains about authors and books was something that was really amazing in this book. If you are a person who loves books, who loves bookstores, who loves anything related to books, then definitely please go and read this one. You will not only love the whole story revolving around this small bookstore, but there will also be some emotions involved where you will shed a few tears also in this one, because how can a translated fiction not make you cry? The only thing that did not work out for me, and that is the reason why I have reduced 1 star, is I wanted to know more about Satoru's wife and how she is, why she is, what actually happened, what was going on in her mind. point, but it was lacking a little bit, and she is a major character in this book, so that's why I was expecting that. There are some characters whose story arc ended abruptly. There are some loose ends, and I sincerely hope that next books come where we get to know more about those characters. But the way this book has ended is making me doubtful whether any new book is coming or not. I really recommend this book to you guys. It is a very thin book. First of all, you can finish this book in 3 hours max, because once you start reading this, it will be very difficult for you to get yourself separated from this book. That is the charm of this kind of thin books, that give you that emotional impact, plus characters that you will fall in love with, plus writing style is so beautiful. The way these literatures explain emotions in words is something that I really love and resonate with. They show hurt in such a practical way, and they show sorrow in such a practical way that anybody who is reading this book will resonate with the feelings of the characters instantly, and that's what is the charm of books like these. So definitely you can go and check it out. Now coming to the concluding part of the video, I got 4 books to read this week that has been chosen by you guys, and I was very excited because this goal was achievable and I was successful in this challenge. I read all of the 4 books that have been chosen by you guys, and apart from this one, I really loved these 3. This book also does not want to be with me, whatever. I definitely recommend these 3 books to you guys. The top 2 recommendations from this video will be obviously More Days at Morisaki Bookshop and Things We Leave Unfinished by Rebecca Yarros. That's all guys. Thank you so much for choosing such beautiful books for me to read this week. Let me know in the comments down below if I should let my YouTube family select the books that I will be reading in 1 week. If I get good response, then definitely I'll do it, because this is a virtual connection that I am forming with you guys, and I want you guys to be involved in my journey as much as you can. So I will really love to interact with you, and I'll really love to, read the books that you choose for me. So let me know in the comments down below. Also, let me know if you have read any of these 4 books, or if you are planning to read any of these books in the comments down below as well. Thank you so much guys for showing so much love and giving so much support to my small YouTube channel. I'm really grateful. If you have not already, please consider subscribing to my channel, because it really motivates me a lot to create more bookish content like this. I'll see you guys in the next video with a new fun challenge, and till then, turn those pages and start reading. Bye.